Good morning, everyone. This is BremSter, and this is Ich bin Groot. Or I'm assuming I am Groot. So this is by Blobz, and this is a puzzle that my testers definitely said I should take a look at. What's going on? I don't know that there's much going on that I should really be talking about. I don't really have that much. Yeah, I'm just doing puzzles and recording them and putting it out on the internet. I don't have stuff to sell you. And even if I did, I wouldn't want you to spend money that you might not have. If you do have money that you want to throw away, donate below. If you don't. Yay. So yeah, I just want to have a look at this puzzle. This one looks a lot of fun. So, what the heck is that? What the heck is that? Something just weird. Anyway, Ich bin Groot by Blobz. So this was a recommendation, but I checked my records and Blobz had said that I could do puzzles, so I'm doing that. So yeah, what are the rules for this one? I love the Groot shape in the puzzle. This is so cool. If I hadn't seen the name of this puzzle and someone said, "What is this?" It was like, "That's Groot. That is Groot." So normal. What is going on? I'm not unwell, so yeah, I have no idea. Something stuck in my beard. Anyway, Ich bin Groot by Blobz. Normal Sudoku rules apply. So in every box, in every row, and in every column, the digits 1 to 9 must be placed without repetition. We have the killer rule. So digits in cages must sum to the number in the top left corner of the cage. Digits may not repeat within cages. So for example, in this 14 cage, those two could not be the same digit, even though that wouldn't break the rules of Sudoku. It would break the rules of killer Sudoku by repeating digits in cages. On the green German whisper line, or Groot's face, adjacent digits must have a difference of at least 5, and the digits placed in green circles must be odd. Okay, right. So that tells me something about that digit. So anyway, I'm going to restart the puzzle to restart my timer. Let's give this one a shot. This is also an odd digit because a 15 cage is an odd number. 15 is odd. Odd and even, I don't think I need to explain those concepts. Basic mathematics, I'm not going to try and explain, such as the fact that I could explain it. There's a really nice thing about what's called the secret. I don't know why it's supposed to be a secret. It's basic mathematics, where the digits 1 to 9, and that's going to come into play in this puzzle. I can see it already. The sum of the digits 1 to 9 is 45. And there's a thing called rainbow effect, I think it's called, where if you grab all of the digits from 1 to 9, the reason that you can see that they will quickly add to 45 is because you have a 1 and a 9, which sums to 10, and a 2 and an 8, which sums to 10, and a 3 and a 7, which sums to 10, a 4 and a 6, which sums to 10, and a leftover 5. So you've got 4 lots of 10, and then a 5 left over. And you could use this concept to very quickly add any run of numbers starting with 1 up to whatever you want. So there's a very quick way of adding numbers together using this rainbow technique. So if you're adding the numbers 1 to 100, you can get, well, I've got, 1 to 99 is 100. You've got 0 and 100, 1 to 99, 2 and 88. And you can do this math and you can get 5,050 pretty quickly. I think it's 5,050 pretty quickly. And you can use the same thing to get 45 with 1 to 9. But not a secret. It's just math. Similarly, odd and even. Any digit, the digits will alternate. 1 is odd, 2 is even, 3. Any number that is divisible, there's rules. But anyway, 15 is an odd number. But if you add 2 odd numbers, Groot's eyes, then 2 odd numbers added together will be even. Because an odd plus an odd is an even number. But this cage overall is odd, so this has to be an odd number. Not sure what that's telling me, but it is true. Now, this cage is interesting me because of the 45 secret that I was just talking about. Because these cages sum to 35, so these sum to 10. But because those sum to 10... and of a secret about German whisper lines, I'm pretty certain that has to be low. But I'm not sure if it's actually helping me at this point. I don't know where I'm supposed to be looking here. I'm just jumping all over the place and making stuff up. I'm pretty certain this has to be a low digit. So I'm seeing all sorts of polarity tricks and everything. So what can make this up? So 15 cage with 2 odd digits. 15 cage with 2 odd digits. Well, this is 1, 3, 5, 7, or 9 because it has to be odd. If this is 1, these sum to 14, which would be 5 and 9. If this is 3, these would sum to 13. Yeah, there's lots of ways of doing that, wouldn't it? There's 5 and 7. I couldn't use another 9. It would be 9. No, they'd sum to 12. I couldn't use a 9 because it'd be 3, 9. I could use 5, 7. And that'd be it. If it's 5, I need to get to 10. So I've got 1, 9 or 3, 7. And then I'm starting to repeat digits. So there's a lot of options. I'm not sure what I'm doing. But these are all odd. I don't know if that helps. Maybe it's the alternation along this line. Okay, German whisper lines. This is going to matter, I think. On German whisper lines, you can never put a 5 on a German whisper line because a 5 on a German whisper line, if you go 5 up from a German whisper line, you end up at 10 or higher outside the range of Sudoku digits. If you go down, you end up at 0 or lower and you're outside the range of Sudoku digits. So a 5 on a German whisper line, not possible. So then every digit on a German whisper line will either be below 5 or above 5. Now, if a digit is below 5, then you have an issue where you can't go down from there. You must go up. But if you go up by 5 from any digit below 5, you must leapfrog the 5 to a high digit. High digit can't go up. It'll leave the range of Sudoku digits. It must go down. If you go down by 5 from any digit above 5 within 6 to 9, you will leapfrog the 5 and you'll end up in a low digit. So we'll always alternate high, low, high, low. So we know that this line is always, every second digit along this line is always going to have the same high, low polarity. So don't know what they are yet, so I'm just going to color them differently. I normally use blue and yellow, but because I don't know which one is which, but I do know these are all either low or high. But this is a 20 cage, but I can put a low digit in a 20 cage. I could put a 3 or a 4 in it. But if this was a 3 or a 4, because these are all high, these would both be high and these would be low, and that would work. But this is a 10 cage. And a 10 cage, I think, must have 2 low digits in it. I think I'm looking in the wrong place, but because I don't want to do high, low, and odd even coloring. Is this, because these sum to 37. 22 plus 15 is 37. So these have to sum to 8. So there's definitely a 1 in this. And it's either 1, 2, 5 or 1, 3, 4. So there's 2 low digits in there. And it can't have any high digits in it. But if these were low and these were low, couldn't all those be high? No, all those can't be high. There's no high digits in here. I can't put a high digit in here without breaking row 1 because this sums to 8. If I put a 6 in it, it's 6, 1, 1. Right, there we go. So there's no high digits in here. If these were low, these would all be high, and then I'd have 5 high digits in this row. So these cannot be low digits. Green is high and blue is low. There we go. Now, this can't be a high digit. So it has to be from 3, 4, or 5. Because in a 20 cage, I have to have 2 high digits. So the 2 high digits in the 20 cage have to be there. Because I can't put a high digit there. But I must have 2 high digits. Because if I use even the 2 highest digits that aren't like 6, 7, 8, or 9, which is 4 and 5, that only gets me to 9, and the other digit would have to be 11. So there must be, and even if I use 9, 5, that's 14, and the other digit has to be a 6. I just can't do it. I must use two high digits. 9 and 5. I must use two high digits in this. Now, is it this 10 cage now? Not sure. I'm really not sure about this one. This is interesting. Now, I know that one of these is a 6, and I know it's not one of these two. These are 7, 8, 9. And the reason for that is you can never make a 6. A 6 only has a single partner on a German whisper line, which is 1, because it's the only digit that is 5 away within 1 to 9. So if either of these were 6, these would be both 1s, and I can't do that. So 6, 1 is in one of these two, and 1 is in one of these two, because one of these is a 6. So it's either 6 with 1 in those, or 6 with 1 in those. But I'm not sure how that breaks. This is 6, 7, or 9. Not sure how that breaks. These are high. Thing is, I know there's a high digit in here. Because a 15 cage, that's... I'm not sure where I'm supposed to be looking. The nature of a 15 cage, it will either be 4, 5, 6, or it'll have a digit from 1, 2, 3, a digit from 4, 5, 6, and a digit from 7, 8, 9. It's just the nature of a 15 cage. But either way, one of those digits is low. At least one of those digits is low, and at least one of those digits is high. But I can't use two high digits. So, for example, I can't do 1, 6, 8. I can't do 2, 6, 7. But that doesn't force, because I could still put two low digits in here. But I can't put a 1 in it, so it's not 1, 5, 9. Because 1 is in here, because that sums to 8. And an 8 must use a 1, because otherwise 2, 3, 4 means 9. I'm all over the place in this puzzle. I really don't know where my pressure is. This 10 cage is also under pressure, because I have to put two low digits into a 10 cage. Because if I don't, even if I go 1, 5, which are the two lowest digits I could use if I only use a single low digit, I'd end up with 1, 5, 6, which is way more than 10. So there's two low digits in a 10 cage, but I can only put one of them up here. So there is a low digit in here, and this must be low. But I still can't figure out where the 5s need to be. There's 22. Now, 22 has either got 3 high digits. Is that going to work? Or... so it's either 6... it's got a 9 in it. So this isn't 9. This is 6, 7, or 8. And it's 5, 8, 9 or 6, 7, 9. If it's 6, 7, 9, this is an 8. This is a 6. These are both 1. 6, 7, 9. This is 8. This is 5. I don't know. And if this is 5, 8, 9, this is 6 or 7. I can't see it. These are 7, 8, 9 because they can't contain a 6. This is 7, 8, 9. Now, I can't put 4 in any of those, because if I put 4 in any of those, both of this is a 1, 2, 3 triple. That's important. This is a 1, 2, 3 triple, because I can't put 4 in any of those, because a 4 there would require both of those to be 9, because 4 only has a single partner. So this is a 1, 2, 3 triple. But I know that these sum to 10. But this has a minimum... Right, hang on. This has a minimum of 6. So if I put in 6, 7, 8, 9 here, first of all, these sum to 10. So if this was 9, these would have to sum to 1. Blake, this is a minimum of 3. So this can't be 8 or 9. This is 6 or 7. So could this be 1, 2? But if this is either 3 or 4. So there's a 1 in it. And it's 1, 2 or 1, 3. So this is the low digit that I said it was going to be earlier. But there's a 1 in here. But is that getting me that far? There's no 4 in here, but I could put 4 and 4 and 5 are in those, but I'm not seeing a problem with that. There's no 1 here. Six would make both of those 1. Then this... Could that be a 7? Because these couldn't be 1, so they'd have to both be 2s. This would be a 3. Yeah, I think it can. I'm not grokking this. I am not grokking this puzzle at all. So the minimum I can put in here now is 4, 5. Right, there's a 1, 2, 3 here. The minimum I can put in here is 4, 5. So it has to be 4, 5, because these two digits now sum to 9. This is the 1, this is the 4, 5. This is not the 1, this is the 1. This is not the 1, so this is not the 6, and this is the 6, and this is the 1. There you go. That's very clever. There is a 9 in one of those two. Now, there's no 6 in this 20 cage. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. These are 6, 7, 8, 9, but there's no 6 in those. This is weird. Now, this is 6, 7, 8, 9. So there is a 6 in one of those two. So this is 6, 9, which is 15. So this is 6, 7, 9, which means this is the 8. There's no 8 here. This is 7, 9. So 7, 9 comes out of those. This is 6, 8. This is 7, 9. 8 comes out of that. This is 7, 9. 7, 9 is 16. So that is the 4, which is low. But now I know, hang on, these sum to 10. That's 7, so that's the 3. And these are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 2, 5, and 8, which does sum to 15. These are 1, 2, 3, 1, 3, and 4, which does sum to 8 as predicted. So that becomes the 2, that becomes the 3, 1, this is the 2, which is low. 1, 2, 3, 4, this is the 5. There is no 5 here. Okay. This is very cool. It just took me a bit to wrap my head around it. Now, a low digit next to an 8 is a 1, 2, or a 3. It can't be a 4. Now, there is a 1 down here somewhere. There is an 8 in here somewhere. There's no 8 there, of course. So this could be 1, 2? Maybe. All I know is my gut tells me maybe. So this is 2, 3, or 4. And I'm not sure if it... This is fascinating. And I'm sure there's stuff that I've missed. Like this 14 cage is either 2 high digits or 5 9. No, that's not grouping me yet. One in this, that's not a 1. But this can't be a 7 because it would be next to a 3. That's the 9, that's the 7. So is it this 15 cage now? Because that's odd and all of those are odd. But that could still be an 8. So I've in these cells, I have to put 4 even digits. I like these puzzles where I'm not 100% sure where I'm supposed to be looking. This is not 8, which means this is odd. Actually, is it the outies in this row? Because 18 plus 9 is 27. 45 minus 27 is what? Hang on. 45 minus 27. Is that 18? So these 3 cells sum to 18. So these 2 cells sum to 10. So this is a 1 or a 3. So this 9 cage can't be 135. Which means I can't put 5 in the 9 cage. It's either 126 or 234. So the 5 is in this 18 cage. So there must be a 5 in this 18 cage. So the other digits in the 18 cage sum to 13. Which is, well, I can't use an 8. So 9 4, I couldn't use 8 5 because I've got the 5 used anyway. So it's 9 4 or 6 7. Not sure. So these are 3 odd digits. So 168, 249, 258, 267, 348, and 456 go away. So it's 159 or 357. Well, hang on a minute. If this is 159, this is a 7, and I've used 7 and 9 in the row. If this is 357, this is 9, and I've used 7 and 9 in the row. That is always the 8. I'm not sure that that does much. 159 or 357. So there's always a 5 in one of those two with 19 or 37. Five is In this box, it's not in any of those or there. So it's in one of those three, but it's not in the 9 cage. Hang on. Yeah, it's not in the 9 cage. So 5 is in one of those two. So that's not the 5. Can't put 5 in the 9 cage because it'd be 135 and break that cell. So this is the 5, and this is 137 or 9. This is not the 8. This is not a 4 anymore. So 4 is in one of those, which means 4 is down here. That can't be a 4, because if that's a 4, that's a 10. So can I put 4 in here with a 5? 4, 5, 9. That is one of the possibilities. 4 in here would mean that those would have to sum to 10. But there's lots of ways of doing that. Actually, there's not that many ways of doing that. But there's enough. Hang on, this can't be a 1. If that's a 1, that's a 13. That is not a 1. So what is this? Is 5, 9 or 6, 8? Well, it's not 6, 8 because I can't put either 6, 8 here, either a 6, 8 here. This is 5, 9, but there must be a 5 in the 18 cage. That's the 5. So now there's a 5 in one of these two in the 14 cage, which means this is a 5, 8 pair by Sudoku because I can't put 5 there. And where do I put 5 in this column? Because of that pair of 5s, I can't put 5 in any of those, and I can't put 5 in any of those. So 5 is in one of those three, and 5 knocks it out of those. So it's similar to the 8. This is a 5, 8 pair. So there's a 5 in this 14 cage, and the other cells sum to 9. Can they be 2, 3, 4? Because if not, this is a 1. But I don't see why they can't be 2, 3, 4. Now, there's no 8 or 9 in this 14. 7, 6, 1. Lots of options without 8 or 9. But these sum to 13. These sum to 13. And I don't have a 9 or an 8. So these are 7, 6. These are 6, 7. So there's no 4 there. This is the 4. And these do sum to 10. This 6, 7 makes this a 9. And now I know what makes this up. Because these sum to 10. This is the 1. There's no 1 in this. So this sums to 10 without a 1. So the minimum digits I've got are 2, 3, and 5 because I can't use 1 or 4. So I can't use 1, 2, 3, can't use 4, 5. 2, 3, and 5 sums to 10. That is 2, 3, and 5, which means this is the 8. Which means this is the 9 and this is the 5. The 9 looks like making that 7 and that 9, and this is the 6 missing from the column. There is a 5 in one of those two because of the 2, 3, 5 triple, and that is not the 5. Which I could have got from the 5 in the box. But this is now a triple. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 4, 7, and 9. Which means that's not the 7 because of the 4, 7, 9 triple. That's the 6, that's the 7. These are 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, and 8. But this is a high digit, so that's the 8. This is not the 8. Do I want to keep my colouring at this point? If I just mark this, I might, but I'm not too stressed by it. This is cool. So I know what these digits are. That 1, 2, 3, and 4, which is good because they sum to 9. There's a 2, 3 looking down, making that the 4, and this becomes a 2, 3 pair, which is a 2, 3 pair in the column. So this is 1 or 4. Now, if it's 4, both of those are 9. Which still seems to be possible because that would be a 9 and we're okay. Because I do know 9 is in one of those. Can I put a 9 in here with a 5? No, I can't. This is a 9. Because 9 and 9 mean 9 is in one of these three. But if I put 9 in here with a 5, I've already hit 14, and these would have to sum to 0. So there's no 9 in those. This is the 9. This is not the 9. Not a 9. Okay. Denied. 4 is in here somewhere. And it's not there because it would be next to an 8. So it's in one of those two. I know I'm doing this inefficiently. I just feel it in my bones. But I'm having a lot of fun with it. And anyone who says that someone having fun with a puzzle is doing it the wrong way is in themselves doing it the wrong way. So this 5 looked up resolving the 2-5 pair. The 2 looks down making this the 3, which means 3 comes out of those and this becomes the 3, so this becomes the 2. Now, this 14... Well, these are now 1, 3, and 4. Because they can't be 2, and they are low. That can't be a 4, so this is a 1 or a 3. Now, what about this 14 cage? Not sure, actually. Well, there's no 5 in it anymore. And there's no 4 in it. So this has to be 167. And yes, I'm using Sven's killer calculator. Because otherwise I'd be sitting here forever. Sometimes where I will... When I've got a digit, I'll try and do the math and figure it out. But other times when there's, in this case, is 8 options, I'm just going to get some mathematical help. I just am. So I can't, because I can't use a 4, a 5, a 2, or a 9, that eliminates all of the options except for 167. So this is a 167, meaning this is a 3 and this is a 4. So that does just work. So these are 2, 3, and 5. And there's no 3 in them. So this is a 2-5 pair. This is the 3. This is the 2, which I could have got from the 3, but that's okay. 2 and 5 sums to 7. So these have to sum to 7 without using 2 or 5. So they can't be 1, 6. They can't be 2, 5. These are 3 and 4. This 3 makes that the 4, that the 3, which makes this the 1. There's no 1 here or 1 here. This is the 1. This is a 6, 7 pair. This is a 6, 7 pair. For the column. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. This is a 6, 7 pair as well. But this 3 means there's no 3 in here and these had to sum to 10. So this is a 1, 9. So this is the 7, this is the 6. There's no 7 there. There's no 9 there. That's the 4 and the 5, of course, made that 2 ages ago. Didn't do it correctly, though. Well, I didn't do it incorrectly. I just didn't do it. The 3, of course, makes that 2. And this is all working so far. This 5 looks back, making that the 8 and that the 5. This box is just missing a 9, which resolves the 7 and the 9. This 9 looks up, making this the 1 and the 9. This is a triple. Actually, I'll put this in first. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This is an 8. And this is a triple. 1, 2... No, not 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So there must be a 1 on this. But unfortunately, the 1 can... Well, the 1 is not there. So this is the 1 and this is the 6, 7. And the 7 here makes this the 6 and this the 7. This has to be a 1 or a 2 because they're the only digits that can go next to a 7, falling over my own tongue. And this 1 means that that's the 2. And that line, Groot's mouth has been resolved. It's always good to resolve a mouth. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7 go in there. And the 7 makes that the 6 and that the 7. Stuff. This 6 looks up, making that the 8 and that the 6. 1 and 1 look up, taking 1 out of those. That becomes the 1. I'll then use that 4 to look up, making that the 3 and that the 4. And at this point, I will just blow the colouring away. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 3, 4, and 8. There is a 3 and an 8, so that's the 4. There is a 3 here, so that's the 8 and that's the 3. This 7 looks down, making this the 6 and this the 7. This 2 looks down, making this the 5 and this the 2. The 5 looks up, making this the 4 and this the 5. The 6 looks up, making that the 7, and I take 7 out of both of those, and I'll use that 6 to look up, making that the 9 and that the 6. And that is the solution to Ich bin Groot by Blobz. Took me quite a while to figure out how to get started on that one, but very, very cool. And once again, I love a good thematic puzzle. That was just a lot of fun. And I hope you enjoyed it as well. Yeah, I mean, as I've said, I've said this a few times because people have called me out on it. It's like what I do is particularly special. I just solve my puzzles, record them, and put them out there to share with others. It's the people who create the puzzles, and I do that too. But the people who create the puzzles are way more important than the people who do videos. And no matter how big you are, that's just the case. Because if people didn't create puzzles and send them to me, I would have nothing to bring you. But if I didn't do what I did, there would still be puzzles being created. And just, yeah, bear in mind, the set is way more important than anyone who puts videos out there. And I just feel it's a bit weird that, yeah, the popularity and the parody seems to be a bit upside down there. I mean, I'll take it. People seem to like what I do, and that's great, and I appreciate the support. But look at some of the puzzle creators out there that have Patreons and send you puzzles and stuff. I do recommend Akash Dulani and Ashish Kumar, but there are others out there that do it as well. Yeah, I've been trying to get a list of other people of the people who create puzzles and release puzzles, as well as other people who present puzzles. There are a lot of small people small channels and Twitch streamers who solve puzzles as well. Yeah, I've been trying to get a list of who they are and what they do and what their focus is. But it's been very hard to get that list together because I do want this group to just be a big community. But anyway, thank you everyone for watching. I hope you liked this one as much as I did. And as always, good luck with your solving.